rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, 'cause I'm stuck in Folsom Prison. And time keeps dragging on. When I hear that lonesome whistle, I don't know that song. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, always be a good kid and don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that lonesome whistle, I forget that part. I think it's literally just those 3 chords. I hang my head and cry. Like that. I forget. That was one of the first songs that I learned on guitar, and then after I got better at playing guitar, I just never played it again because everybody plays it, and I like to be different. That's just me. It's really easy though. It's literally just 3 chords. I'm still learning the mando, but you know, a little bit of work every day goes a long way. And that's the name of the game, baby. You just gotta keep at it. So today, I'm sure I've done a talk like this before, talking about hitchhiking and stuff. But if I have, it hasn't been for quite a while. So I just thought I would, just riff on hitchhiking tales and frequently asked questions, because gosh darn it, I sure do get a lot of the same questions, which are, they're dang good questions. And now, before I get into it, I'm gonna tell you, I look like I'm on a nice set because I got this beautiful clean wall behind me. So here's the skinny, folks. I got off my train and I did my live stream yesterday, so that's not news unless you missed yesterday's live stream. But got off my train and pretty quickly I was so grimy and so gnarly and so tired that, like, oh man, I was ragged yesterday. So immediately I looked up the cheapest motel in the area and I got a room so I could shower. All their washers were broken. So I just, I washed off the sweat and the grease in the bathtub and I cleaned up after myself. So, just, not leaving a mess for the employees or anything, but, I got a good night's sleep. It was great. I made a nice short that I released on Patreon this morning. Mostly I just slept yesterday. Good God. So today after before checkout, I got up early this morning so I could get some stuff done and, work on some things and, kind of figure out my game plan for being here. And checkout time crept up pretty quick. And it's like 93, 94 degrees out today. So I got my ass to the closest establishment near the rail yard, and I settled in and hung out for a little while and got some chicken wings, and somebody got some chicken strips for Satan, which was pretty cute. She still got a couple left. I got some chicken wings left. And I was about to leave and go out back into the world. I'm getting to the rest of the story here, but there's dogs barking and that, like, really fucking distracts me, so I'm just gonna close this here. Okay, so I'm in a basement again. Go fucking figure. Always in a goddamn basement. So I did. Let's see. Went into the grill and tavern and settled in, and kind of was just trying to hide from the heat. But I got really bored and I didn't want to be sitting in a tavern all day because who wants to do that unless you're drinking? Even if you are, like, I don't have the money for that shit. So was packing up my stuff, about ready to head out, and this nice lady was asking me some questions, and I was like, yeah, well, I'll see you later. And she was like, well, hey, where are you going? It's hot out. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really not looking forward to it, but I'm gonna go hide out somewhere until the sun goes down, and and I explained to her, like, all the hostels in the area are either too expensive, or the one that was in my price range had such bad reviews that I figured I was probably just better off sleeping in a bush anyway. And she was like, well, you know what, my son's in college, and he kind of has this downstairs, basement gamer nook that he lives in when he's not at his dorm, and like, you're welcome to hang out. And yeah, so it was just a few blocks away, so that's where I'm at now. I'm at this kind lady's son's little basement nook, and I'm in the laundry room right now. I might go outside and do a smoke in a little bit, or I might stay in here just because it's quiet and I don't want to bother anybody. Yeah, so that was really cool. So yeah, now I'm out of the weather, which is great because I was really not looking forward to sweating through all my clothes again today. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. I might twist up a smoke, actually. That sounds nice. I haven't had a smoke all day. Yeah, so I'm not sitting in the podunk little tavern anymore. It was cute though, like, the bartender was like, don't worry about paying for the chicken wings, and I was like, really? She was like, yeah, you're good, we get them for free anyway. So yeah, I didn't even have to pay for my wings. And now I'm in a nice cool basement, and there's a laundry room here. Yeah, I'm gonna do my laundry after the stream. I didn't want to start my laundry like during the stream because then that would make a bunch of noise while I'm streaming. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about some times. And honestly, this stream might go a little longer than my typical streams if I really get going on some tales, because, like, I mean, shit, I could fill up hours and hours of time with this type of thing. I've done a lot of hitchhiking. I've hitchhiked up and down the West Coast more times than I could even recall. Ooh, I got lemon packets in my pocket. I was going to take these to the hop out and put them in my water because I didn't feel like carrying extra lemonade. I got a bunch of these. Yeah, I forgot about those. I was about to have the shittiest day today when good old Jill picked me up. So, yeah, thanks. I know she's not watching. She doesn't know that I have a channel yet. And hopefully she doesn't mind that I'm streaming in her laundry room. But she said, do you? It's cool. So, yeah. Yeah, fucking Jill saved my ass today. I was really in a terrible mood and really not looking forward to sweating in the bush. The only saving grace that I was hoping for was maybe some river access at my little secret hideout spot that I was hoping was a viable spot. It looked like something on the satellite map. Anyway, I've hitchhiked between from the Midwest to the Southwest, up and down the coast, West Coast several times, around the Midwest several times, down south now a couple of times, and recently across Ohio, which was a goddamn nightmare. Yeah, and and across Alaska, and so I put some links in the description if you scroll down to the bottom past all my other links. If you want to check out after the stream, of course, because they're not going anywhere, there's the Hitchhiking Across Alaska playlist and Hitchhiking Solo to Slab City playlist, where I start in Minnesota, dip over to Ohio to go and visit the folks at Skatopia, and then cut south and then west, eventually meeting up with the Colonel, which was when I first met him. He was a stranger to me then. Now he's not, and good friend as well as his family. But that's the way of the road. You meet somebody, and sometimes you meet somebody that like becomes a lifelong friend, and that's the beautiful part of it. I've got thousands and thousands of miles under my belt, and this was all before I started riding trains. I still hitchhike, obviously, since I did, not even last month, and it's it's a viable way to get around. People give it a bad rap, but that's because they're too chicken shit to do it themselves, or maybe they had one bad experience. Typically it's just people that haven't done it and they want to justify and make themselves feel better for being too afraid to do it. They'll be like, oh, you're gonna get killed, or you're gonna get scammed, or you're gonna get raped, or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, that can happen, but you can also die every time you drive your car anywhere, or you can have a brain aneurysm at any time. Like, bad things can happen to any of us. You could choke on your food, and choke on a bone splinter in your chicken wings and die on the spot. And it can happen. Doesn't mean it's going to. It's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to be fine. You're probably just going to eat some good chicken wings, and that's going to be that. But, it can happen. You could choke and die on your fucking wings. So, you see how silly that sounds. Yeah, it's a thing. So, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get Satan's ball, and she can't hear me right now. She probably can hear me through the door. But I'm going to get Satan's ball after I roll up a smoke here. I'm going to go outside into this nice, beautiful yard that I've been given access to, and I'm going to throw the ball for her a little bit and tell you some stories and smoke a cigarette. And I got a nice Topo Chico in the fridge that I'm going to drink too. Yeah, so give me 1 sec. 1 second. Hold on. Wait right there. It is so crazy hot outside, so probably not going to be out there for too long, but yeah, and Satan's going to be real hot here. Hey, can you back up? Oh yeah, it's toasty. Definitely not no slabs toasty or hot like it is in the south right now, but jeez. The humidity makes it so much worse. I know I keep bitching about the humidity, but Come on, Pop. I got so used to 115 in the desert. But that's that dry heat, baby. That's that fucking dry heat. I know everybody always says that, and it does get crazy dangerous after it gets up to 110. Especially with the dry heat. Anyway, I'm not gonna bitch about the weather too much. Especially since I'm in the shade. What What a nice time. I'm gonna angle this so you can see Satan catching the ball. Nice. Good call. Okay. So I guess should I start with stories or FAQs? I feel like maybe I could do a little of both. Does anybody have you guys give me prompts. You give me fucking content. What if you have or have not hitchhiked? What are some things that you, especially if you haven't hitchhiked, like what's some questions that you got, like about traveling that way? Like what are your concerns, questions, whatever, and maybe if I get on a tangent, I'll tie it in with some tales, or I'll tell some tales afterward. I don't know. I'm kind of just getting my bearings here. I really wasn't expecting to be just like housed up today and comfortable and taken care of. This is really nice. I was actually pretty stressed out earlier this morning. Yeah. That's a really open-ended question, man. Try and keep your questions like more straightforward. Like that's like crazy how. Like if you're gonna ask me like what's the craziest thing that happened for this or that, like I don't know what you mean by crazy. Like be more specific, please. Samoan says, I'm trying to will 1,000 viewers to this live. What are you doing? Fuck yeah. Hey man, if you share the link to this live stream right now on some like hitchhiking forum or traveler forum or somewhere that people are interested in this particular topic, that'd be sick. Like go on ahead. Let's see if we can drum up some more viewers for this stream. If y'all want to fucking share a link. I've never asked people to do that before. Why not? See what you can do. See what you can do. Hey, Satan. There we go. Cam says, first hitch I got was from a guy who called himself Acid Bob who offered me a tab. What a ride that was. Did you take the tab, man? Was he on acid while driving your ass around? That's funny. Yeah, when people are fucked up when they pick me up, I am automatically pretty sketched out. The only times that I have had... You did, of course you did. Good on you. The only times that I have had like sketchy encounters with people when I've gotten picked up hitching is when they were like using drugs. And like I'm a person that likes drugs as well, so like I'm not judging people for that, but it's like it'll start off like, okay, cool, you offer me some whatever, and I'm either into it or not into it. But then at a certain point, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes like the vibe just kind of changes and it gets weird. And then, it becomes pretty obvious pretty quickly if it's time to ask them to drop you off now. Hey, that viewer count went up. Somebody shared a link. Good on ya. Oh, Cole Cashapp me something. Thank you so much. Fuck yeah. If anybody else wants to throw down, there's money links in the description. There's Cashapp, PayPal, Venmo. There's a fresh new short video on Patreon if you want to join that. I was extra tired and crusty and spangy yesterday, so I understand it's the end of the month as well, but if you're feeling it, I definitely can use it. Yeah, be kind please says you can tell. Yeah, you can tell like the vibe gets weird, especially when it comes to people smoking meth, of course. So that's, what do they say about somebody on some social media asked a question like, everybody wants crystals that bring them good vibes and attract like, oh shit, Satan's ball is on the other side of the fence. Nope. Hey. I'll get that. They're like, oh, everybody wants crystals that, you know, hey, nope, 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 nope. That attract positive energy and whatever, but I want a crystal that attracts bad energy and makes everyone upset. And then somebody responded like, oh, that exists. That's crystal meth. It's true. Where'd your ball go? No. No. You lost it in the other yard. Hey, stop. I'm sorry, baby. Yeah. I want to put her inside so she doesn't go insane, and I'll try and get the ball later. That sucks. I'm sorry, pup. She would climb over there and go get it, but that's somebody else's yard. Come on, pup. Let's go. Nope. Let's go. Come on. You. Here. Now. You. Here. Now. Come on. Come here. Satan. Come on. Come on. Let's go. All right, go. Yeah, I'll get that later. We'll figure it out. It's too hot to be doing that anyway. Yeah, most of the time, you know, I've been picked up by like hippies that are drinking beers and dropping acid and smoking weed and whatever, and it's been fine. Really, yeah, it really depends. You can kind of just tell. Unless you're paranoid, then everything feels like the vibes are off. I don't know. Oh yeah, we got 100 folks in chat. I think my host is back, so she might come out and see what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah. Have I ever been picked up by somebody famous? I don't know. I don't think so. Definitely had a few interesting characters pick me up. There was one time I got picked up by, I was picked up in Alaska by a few interesting folks. I've been picked up by tons of very interesting folks. Nobody that was like, oh, hey, I'm this person or that person, or, you know. She's gonna let her dogs out. I'm gonna go over here so she can let her dogs out. I'm gonna go in. Hey, buddies! Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing a live stream right now. Oh, no, you're good, you're good. I've got the camera pointed at me if you don't, you know. I'm just gonna do it in the laundry room if that's okay with you. Cool, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, she's got some cute dogs, but they're not totally used to other dogs. One of them's really sweet. The other one is pretty excitable. So we're just letting them meet slow. Oh, hey, there are more balls in here. Okay, we can finish our game after this. There was a couple of interesting characters. One of them was one of the fastest drivers in Alaska, and she did like NASCAR, or no, it was like drag racing or something. It's in my Alaska series a bit. I think it was either one of the shorts that I released while I was doing that trip, or it's actually in like one of the series. And then another one, this guy was in the series as well. He picked me up, and he builds hang gliders, and kind of showed me around town in Homer, and he was crazy interesting. Told me a lot of interesting stuff about the town historically, and told me about building hang gliders. He had the most calming, kind voice. Like you can hear it when he's telling me about town and stuff. And I just like thought like this guy. I feel like I recognize this guy. Like maybe I recognize his voice. Maybe he was like a voice actor or something, or somebody like. But I feel like the chillest famous people don't really go around flaunting that they're famous or that they're known. They just kind of want to like go through their life and chill out and whatever. Let's see other interesting characters. I'm trying to think. I have a buddy who is based out of Nova Scotia, and he told me about how he got picked up at one point by the dude who played Mr. Leahy on Trailer Park Boys, and apparently this dude was like kind of famous for doing that. Like he'd go around and just like pick up all the hitchhikers coming through Nova Scotia, and it was like kind of he was infamous for that. And he's passed on now, but what a trip that would be, huh? It's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, like I think if like if I was super famous, I'd go around picking up hitchhikers too. Like, I mean, I pick up hitchhikers anyway because I've hitchhiked quite a bit. Unless they look like really, really fucking sketch or something, like they're just erratic and clearly like visibly fucked up. Which you got to be pretty messed up if a person just driving past you on the road can tell that you are. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Like if you got picked up by some really famous person, like who's gonna believe you? And I think that'd be really funny. Exploring Idaho says I was hitchhiking through Reno and got picked up by Rob Lowe. I don't know who Rob Lowe is, but that's cool. Nice weather, dumping rain here in Florida. Yeah, it's supposed to be raining later today into the evening. Be kind, please, says my friend and I got kidnapped in Tennessee. It was scary as hell. Luckily, the dude got paranoid and let us out of his car. Yeah, that's always the nightmare that, like, that it's not happened to me. There have been times where I was like, I think I'd be okay with getting off over here, and they'll be like, "Oh, nonsense, it's okay. I'll get you further up the road," and I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I'm good. I really do want to I want to get out this way anyway. And they'll be like, "Oh, are you sure? I can just, like, we're having fun, right?" And I'm like, yeah, I mean, maybe, kind of want to get out here. I am prepared to, like, fight my way out. Like, what would you even do? You're in a moving vehicle, somebody else is behind the wheel, especially if they have, like, a weapon on you or something. That's terrifying. Um, yeah, I guess, like, probably the worst time I had while hitchhiking was in, oh, no, where was it? Mitchell, South Dakota, heading back into Minnesota, and me and my buddy got picked up hitching. I was dating this person at the time, and this guy was like when we got in the car, it like he was like, "Oh, I'll take you back to my place at the trailer park, and you can get some showers and chill out and stuff." And we're like, "Cool." He was already kind of sketching me out. He was obviously pretty drunk, and like, we're like, "Yeah, we'll take some showers," and then we like are pulling toward the trailer park, and he starts saying something about how he wants to pay money to watch us have sex, and I'm like, nah, nah. I mean, I was I was poor as fuck at the time, and I'm like kind of thinking about it, like, oh, I don't know, like, do I want to have sex in front of this weird man in a trailer park for $100? No, I don't think I do. So I was like, nah, man, it's cool. And actually, we're good to go. If you could just drop us back off where you found us, that'd be great. And he was trying to like argue about it, and we were about ready to just jump out and find our way out of there. And it was just like he really wasn't taking no for an answer, but because of this sort of situation that I've always feared but never found myself in. I usually have my road dog sit in the back behind the person, so that if they do try to get fresh or something, then that person behind them can, like pull a knife or something and be like, "No, I got a knife at the back of your neck, dude. You're gonna drop us off." Like, that's just how it's gonna be. Fortunately, it's never come to that. Um, there was another time I was riding with a trucker, and he pulls out the tweak, and he starts getting high, and I'm like getting more uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, this is gonna get weird. I know it is. And then he like offers me some fentanyl, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. And then he starts trying to like come on to me and say like how he's so lonely, and he wants some type of physical contact with somebody. And I'm like, that ain't me, dude. Sorry, like, I'm not a lot lizard or whatever. And he was fronting like he was gonna bring me down the road, but he actually just like went up the road and then like drove back into that same truck stop parking lot. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stop here for a second and get high." And I'm like, "Okay." And then he was like, "Oh, we'll leave in a little bit." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna get out now because this is already fucking sketch. I'm not gonna keep sitting in here." Um, but he didn't like try to argue with me about it. He just was like, "Okay, see ya." And I was like, "Okay, bye." I was uncomfortable, but mostly. Oh, I guess another shitty ride would be when you get picked up by the person that picks you up specifically because they want to convert you to their religion. That's always awkward as hell. um, but that's happened to me so many times, and it's always Christians. It's never people of different religions. It's always people that want to convert you to Christianity, and they're super like, they think they're being slick, and they'll like kind of introduce it into the conversation a little bit, like over time. I've gotten really good about it though, and I'll intercept that whole train of what's going on by just being like, "Oh yeah, man, you don't have to save me. I'm already saved." Like, do you want to pray together? Do you want to talk about the Bible? Do you want to talk about your favorite biblical passages? Because I'm in it, man. Like, if you want to do that, if you want to go that route, let me let me explain your own religion to you. Oh boy. Yeah, it's always a fun one. Mr. Leahy would be a atypical Nova Scotian, though. Would he be? I don't know anything about how folks are in Nova Scotia. I have not been. Lodi says I had a dog who never barked, but they went nuts and wouldn't let this one guy in my car. I was like, "Sorry, dude." Word. In Texas says corn wanders North America, ends up in a place with a pool. The pool is in the neighbor's yard, not in this yard. That'd be tight if it was, though. Yes, I have been to Canada track cat, but I was driving my school bus through it. I didn't hitch through. So, if you yeah, if y'all wanna check out I put my hitchhiking series. There's two full series about hitchhiking that are in the description. I've also got 5-part series on the 5-part series on hitchhiking across Alaska. But before that, I had to drive up to Alaska first, and that's through British Columbia and Yukon. It's a good question. Exploring Idaho. How much water do you carry? It depends. That's a good question. Water's heavy. I don't know if y'all know this, but like, I want to say a gallon of water is like 8 pounds. So you carry 2 gallons of water, which is like what you should be drinking in a day, especially if you're active and it's hot and you're sweating. That's 16 extra pounds of weight on your back. That sucks. I got about 2 gallons in my water bag right now because I thought I was gonna be heading to the rail yard, but I'm here in this basement instead. Um, but yeah, 2 gallons is like obviously recommended. If I'm in a place like where there's gonna be like a lot of places where I can refill my water, then a half a gallon to a gallon is fine. If I'm in a place where there's a lot of bodies of water and like rivers and stuff where I can go and collect and purify it myself, then I only need to carry like 40 ounces of water at a time just for like chugging, and then come across a stream and filter some more. That's what I did across Alaska, and that worked great. I was only carrying like 20 ounces of water at any given time in Alaska because I could just go to a river at any point, like wherever you go, far as the eye can see. There's water everywhere, so that was pretty nice. Derp asks, how often do police either bother you, help you, or ignore you? That's a good question too. Um, Often, pretty often. In some towns, they'll see me coming with the pack and the dog from like a mile away, and they're on it like flies on shit. They're just like, oh, we don't like people like you in our town. Sometimes, most of the time, they'll offer to just give me a ride out of the county, and they'll act like it's a real big favor, but then they'll drop you in the middle of fucking nowhere, which is the opposite of a favor. They just want to get you out of their town. Most of the time, that's what they'll do. Sometimes, if they're real mean, like in Elkhart, they'll pick you up on a trespassing charge and throw you in jail. Um, or, give you a ticket for like loitering or something. Mostly, though, they'll either leave you alone or at least try to help you. But also, I have white skin, and yeah, so I feel like the more obviously trans I get, the more sketchy it is for sure. But it's like, whatever people think that I am, I'll just be like, yeah, sure, whatever. You can call me sir or ma'am. I really am not in a position to, like make a thing about it. I'm just trying to get through town. Um, and yeah, sometimes a lot of times they will help. Like I got pulled off a train in Chicago, and I was like, oh no, I'm in for it this time. And the cops actually just gave me some water and a sandwich, which I couldn't eat because I have celiac disease. But Satan ate it, and she loved it. It was a salami sandwich. We love salami. Mr. Danceman said, had a lift from a guy once who drove me down a dirt track, started to get a little worried. Then he pulled up at a cafe and bought me a huge breakfast. No strings. Cool guy. Hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah, most folks are pretty decent. Yep, gallon of water weighs about 8.34 pounds. Yeah, it's like the heaviest thing you're gonna be carrying in a pack. It's a lot. So if you're like in the desert, you have to carry that much, and it's like it's even worse because it's usually hot in the desert and you're carrying extra. Um, yeah, I like being in North Country because you don't have to worry about where you're gonna find water. Met a girl who got picked up by Agent Mulder from X Files in Canada. That's cool. Hell yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, one good time. Uh, and this is in my hitchhiking across Alaska series. There's a bunch of good encounters in that one. I got picked up by this guy that lived just in the bush out past Fairbanks, and he gave me a ride a few miles up the road, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just going to my little shack here, and I'm gonna drop you off at this spot, and I'll check back in on you by sundown. And if you're still standing there and haven't gotten picked up, if you want to, you can come and stay at my bush shack with me, and get a good night's sleep, and I'll feed you and give you beer." And I was like, tight. Well, a day goes by, I haven't gotten picked up. It's been raining all day, kind of just tired and miserable. Sure enough, he came back, and I was like, yeah, I'll go to your shack. And he let me sleep in his shed and fed me some moose meat that he had hunted. And we drank like 40 beers between the two of us. It was a good time. That moose meat was like everything to me. I needed that so bad. Any unexplained UFO type encounters? That's not really hitchhiking related, but yes. Hey, it looks like somebody got down with the kick down. Thank you, in Texas. You're fucking phenomenal. That's that goes for anybody. If you want to get down with the kick down, you don't gotta be a baller to drop a dollar. That's a good question. Exploring Idaho. Yeah, yeah. You guys keep giving me prompts and asking good questions because I that helps me stay focused. Okay, so Idaho says if you're dropped off late in a small town, what are your choices when it comes to sleeping at night? Um, well, typically I'm gonna walk back out of town to where there's open forest or at least some bush that I can camp behind. If there's not really anywhere nearby, it's all like residential nearby, and you have to walk out pretty far to go to somewhere to camp. Then what I will do is I'll look for some type of business or establishment that is not open, um, and like maybe isn't operating at all. Last time I did something like that was in Mobile, Alabama, I think. And I got dropped off. It was late. I'm tired as hell. I'm sweaty, and it's hot as fuck and it's buggy. I'm getting eaten alive, and I kind of walked through town a bit, and there was a VFW that was next to a closed down like halfway house kind of situation, like um, some type of housing, but it wasn't operational. But behind the VFW, there was like a dumpster with a tiny patch of woods behind the dumpster. And like if somebody came out behind the dumpster and like poked around a minute, they would definitely see me. But since I know that the VFW isn't going to be open in the morning because it's a bar, I figured that I would have until like at least 11 before it would be likely that somebody would be poking around behind the dumpster. At least anybody that worked there. And like, what home bums are gonna be poking around back there? I look around, there's no garbage. It doesn't look like anybody else's camp back there. Um, so that was actually a pretty sweet spot. There was even like a little picnic table around back, no cameras or anything. So I had a spot to like peel off my sweaty duds, put on my nice shorts and a dry t-shirt, which immediately got soaked in sweat. Set up my tent so that the bugs are off me, and climb in for the night. So that's good. So like, looking for you got to think outside the box. You got to think as far outside the box as you can. Stealth camping is a whole thing, and stealth camping goes hand in hand with hitchhiking. That's why I like having a small tent, and I do like having a tent. A lot of people get by without one, but like sometimes you're in a place where there's a ton of freaking bugs, and they want to eat you alive, and you want that bug screen, that net over you, so you don't get eaten alive, but also you can let air through so you're not toasting, because that's kind of the thing about tents, they don't really breathe well. So yeah, I try to look for businesses and establishments that are like closed down. Obviously you want like just a little bit of tree cover, and what's funny is like a lot of times people really aren't looking for you. If you're in a place where people will be looking for you, you're probably in like a home bum jungle area, and I don't want to sleep in that kind of place anyway, because people are going to get spun out and try to fuck with you sometimes. So I try to, when I'm camping out, be away from other people that I don't know, because it's safer that way, especially when you're in town. um, I have also been known to sleep near graveyards because, well, you know people don't hang out in graveyards at night, and there's usually at least a little bit of tree cover that you can kind of duck behind. It's nice and peaceful. Dead people make great bedfellows. Tell you what. It's some of my favorite company. Bivy is a good middle ground between tent and no tent. It's really about preference, man. Like, um, bivvies are heavy, and they take up a lot of space, and like once you're in it, you're like you don't have room to like move around and do stuff. My tent isn't really like it doesn't have much more space inside of it than a bivy does, but I would say that it's a lot more versatile because it's got the rain fly, so when it is raining, I can put that up, but it's also just like a bug net when I don't have the rain fly up, and it's very waterproof. So, I paid a pretty penny for the tent, but it's great. And if you want to check out a gear breakdown, just go on my channel. I should have put my gear breakdown video in the description as well, so you could look at that. But yeah, I've got some pretty sweet gear. Maybe I'm due for another gear talk. Like, no, I just did a gear talk. I talked about like some of my favorite gear stuff that not everybody like knows about or carries. K says my prime hangout spots are in graveyards. Hell yeah, yeah, graveyard crew. I'm into it. Let's see. Hitchhike at small airports? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've heard people do it, especially like bush airports. Yeah, just look for places like when you're looking for stealth camp spots. One of your best friends is going to be your your phone. Look on Google Maps. Turn on the satellite visual so you can see like where the woods are. Sometimes it can be misleading because, like I found out yesterday. Well, I mean, I already knew this, but and figured that was pretty likely. But it might look like you've got a nice clearing and a spot that you can go to, and then you get to it and you realize that it's a sheer hill, and there's just tons of trees and overgrowth, and there's no way to get up there. So like you want to have a plan B and stuff, but definitely don't underestimate um, you know just random little spots. Like, poke around, look around, and if it's not going to be raining and you don't have to worry about bugs eating you alive, then just put your tarp down on the ground and just raw dog it, sleep under the stars. And when you do that, it's really easy to camp stealthy. And then if it does start raining in the night, you can just roll the rest of your tarp up over you, so you don't have to climb out of your sleeping bag and set up your tent and stuff, because, you know, sometimes it rains when you're not expecting it to. That's why you want to have a nice, like, you know, nice tarp, like a 10 by something or whatever, like, yeah, there's a lot you can do with tarps. I've slept inside paper cardboard dumpsters, and they're pretty nice. That's sketch. I definitely don't advocate sleeping inside of dumpsters, because you know, they're dumpsters. Like, if they decide to come and empty it, then you could get really, really hurt. Or if, you know, somebody comes out in the morning and starts dumping stuff in there while you're still in there, you can get hurt, or, like, you know, at least be awakened rudely or something. I mean, if it's, like, really, really cold and you have no better options, then that's what you got. But I definitely, I don't advocate sleeping in dumpsters for any reason. Behind them, sure. Not in them. That's dangerous. How much do I spend a day on food, water, and cigarettes, and etc.? It depends. Like, I don't really spend money like most of y'all do. I don't have, like, an income and output of money. Like, some days I don't spend anything. Some days I spend like $100, you know, on just like yesterday I spent probably about $100, but I got a hotel room and a meal and a ride. So yeah, that was probably like $120. That's why I was so like, that's why I was like, please help. there's my money links there. I am broke and I'm in a town I've never been in, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. But if you busk and you go out busking or like street performing, I did a talk on how to make your way while traveling, and, like, you know, I was talking about different money hustles and stuff. But, like, when you're out busking, half the time people will just stop and give you food anyway, or weed if you're asking for it, or even if you don't ask for it. Sometimes they're like, you know, they'll kick you down beer or something like that. If you put yourself out there and people see what you're doing, like, a lot of the time you don't have to buy shit. You just hang out. People are like, hey, you're interesting, tell me your travel tales, and I'll give you a couple of these beers that I just bought over on the corner there, and, you know, give you some of my leftover food. Or sometimes, you know, they'll invite you over to their house and let you hang out and live stream in their laundry room. I haven't spent a dime today, actually. No, that's a lie. I spent $20 at the Wawa getting stuff like this. I got me a Topo Chico and a Naked Juice and some snacks, because I thought I was going straight to the rail yard, and I was like, well, I gotta buy something so I can eat while I'm sitting in the bush waiting on my train. A Christian guy gave me a lift, and I was actually going to a nightclub. I got a lecture. Boo. I hope he took you to the nightclub. You should have invited him with you. Sapphire says, hey, I thought this was starting at 4, but it's already going. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, it's almost to the top of the hour. Did I say 4 in the Discord? I'm sorry if I did. I think I said 3 PST. I have a zit on my back. Ow. It hurts. Okay. I need a shower after this. Another shower. I'm just gonna shower as often as possible, because after I got grimy yesterday, my skin kind of freaked out. Oh shit, looks like we got another kick down. Hell yeah, thanks Nadine. That's so sweet of you. And if you're a sweetheart and kicked it down on Venmo and didn't say anything, I will send you a little thank you note on Venmo after the stream. Never had it happen. Just gotta leave early. Oh, I think you're talking about the dumpster thing. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think it's a good idea to sleep in dumpsters, but you do you. Cardboard is a really good insulator though, so if it is cold, like going in and grabbing a bunch of cardboard and just like, I don't know, like lining the inside of your clothes with it or something. Cardboard, paper, newspapers, whatever. That's like an old home bum trick because, you know, it'll keep you warm if you got nothing else. It's not comfortable, but it helps. You ever hitchhike through New England? No, I may pretty soon here though. I'm in Philadelphia right now, or near it. I'm in a little suburb area outside of Philly, and probably gonna be heading northeast. I don't know. Just gonna mosey about. Was your experience better than the southern states? I don't know. Like the best hitchhiking that I've ever done was definitely in Alaska. Like it was crazy. Except when I was like really out in the middle of nowhere, because people aren't going anywhere. They're just going back to the bush. They're not going to the next town because there is no next town half the time. But when I was on the highway, like between Fairbanks and Homer, people would just like, it'd be like the moment I got out on the highway, somebody would stop. And it would be a nice ride with a cool person with some interesting stuff to say. That was cool. Except for a few folks who ended up being like kind of more conservative, or like weirdly enough, there was a lot of people in Alaska who believe in flat earth theory. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but it's a thing. I don't know why I said flat earth theory, because that's like too generous. They think the earth is fucking flat. And it's a phenomena. Do you think you'll hitchhike when you're a senior citizen? I don't know, man. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. Probably. Why not? So glad I made the stream. Glad you made it, Aaron. Look out for old dudes with a walrus fetish? What the fuck does that mean? Hey, we got a lot of folks watching the stream. If you want to take a minute and give me a thumbs up here, that'd be fucking fantastic. Seems like some folks might have shared the stream link or something, so if that was you, thanks so much. I appreciate you for sharing. Yeah, we're about at the top of the hour, but I'm down to answer some more questions if you guys have any more questions. I mean, like I said, I could go on about this particular topic for hours. Simple Reality says you have to admit you make some of this up as you go along. Yeah, that's like literally the whole thing about traveling this way. You don't know what the heck you're getting into, and you don't know how you're going to deal with it until you get into your next situation. Simone says, make it rain, make it rain. Hell yeah, get down with the kick down. You're heading to New Hampshire. Maybe I am. If you know anybody, if y'all know anybody in the Northeast, I really do want to maybe putz around Maine. I liked New Hampshire when I passed through it a couple of years ago. Vermont, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe I'll get a wild hair up my ass. And no, I'm not heading back to it. I want to go. Yeah, we're gonna stick with the ramble around the Northeast. Maybe see the ocean. I think that'd be really cool. Do some hiking. Go to a little bit cooler weather for the next couple weeks. I think that would be a great thing. I'll probably be doing a combination of riding trains and hitchhiking. And I'm definitely not above public transit, and um, if need be, Greyhound or whatever the heck. Don't matter to me. I ain't got no pride about it. I don't gotta impress anybody. I'm just trying to get places. There's nothing wrong with traveling whatever way that you want to. Exploring Idaho is looking for the Venmo link, and Captain Grim already got it. I'm kind of behind on. Cat Cat says flat Earth wall. Do your research, bro. It's like flat and stuff. What was my longest ride? Let's see. Most of my best rides come from truckers because they are going long distances. I've gotten like 1,000-mile rides before from truckers across multiple states. I got yeah, I think probably like 1,000 miles. I'm trying to think of where that was. I think it was. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it blends together. I don't know. The one long ride that does stand out is another Alaska thing. I got picked up in Coldfoot and brought up to Prudhoe Bay, but there's literally nothing in between those towns. It's like 530 miles of dirt highway. It's the longest unpaved road, or longest unpaved highway in North America. And not only did they give me a ride, actually they gave me a ride back down too. I was sitting there for a few days. These guys went up to work and they finished their job, and I was still trying to hitchhike. So they were like, well, if you're still there when we head back down, then we'll take you down. And they brought me all the way back down to Palmer, actually, which is by that's by where my bus was parked at the time. That was about 1,000 miles or so, even, and they were driving hard. They were tearing ass because they were trying to get back to their home base, I guess, within a certain time period to go do another job. So that was like a quick, easy ride. It was super nice. If you hit Massachusetts, Northampton is a great place for traveling folk. Brattleboro is great for train hopping. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just going to be moseying around this little corner of the U.S. for a minute. So if anybody, forced reboot, South Shore, Massachusetts, if you need a safe zone en route. Hell yeah, thanks. I might take you up on that. Yeah, if any of y'all are based around any of this top right corner of the U.S. and you want to host a crusty bum for a day or two, drop a message or join the Discord and say hey or whatever. Or, leave a comment. If you have spent time hitchhiking and or you have more questions and stuff, there's the comment section after the stream. Make sure you leave a comment, hit the like button, and if you're into this kind of stuff and you haven't subscribed yet, my analytics indicate to me that 40% of the people that watch my streams are not subscribed to me. So get on that. Subscribe today. Just travel. Yep, that's the idea, Bill. I'm just gonna travel. Exploring Idaho says sent through Venmo. Thanks for answering my questions. You're welcome. No problem, man. Appreciate you. Eat some lobster. Yeah. Why not? Bill did a lot of hitchhiking when they were 15. Back in the 70s. Hell yeah, that's cool. always wanted to go to Maine. Um, Sapphire, I was in Maine very briefly 2 years ago when I was doing the King Ratchet exploration. I pretty much was just in Maine for like a few hours, just on principle because I was trying to drive from the west coast to the east coast before I headed back southwest. Captain says, so far only cool peeps and no trolls. Hell yeah. I love that. I love that. You guys are so great. What a nice crowd. What a good crowd. Y'all are being super cool and super sweet. I think Martha's Vineyard might have fishing boat opportunities. I don't know what Martha's Vineyard is, but definitely down to do some work gigs while I'm around here. And I will travel, so if y'all got logs that need hauling or whatever, I'll probably do. I wouldn't mind doing another stream about hitchhiking at some point in the not so distant future, because I feel like if I wrote down some notes or something about particular things that I wanted to talk about, that maybe I could probably fill I could go off for another hour on this topic right now, but I try to keep my streams around 1 hour just for my own sanity. That's a good comment, Space. Probably good to get a photo of their license plate and message it to someone you know before you get in the car. Yeah, so that is something that I do. I will take, because they got to pull over to pick you up. So then while I'm walking up, I'll get my phone out and take a quick picture of the license plate. And then when I get in the car, I'll make sure that they, know that, because of course they're going to notice that you got your phone out at some point, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm just sending a picture of your license plate to my homie that I was just texting, just because that's what I always do. And if they have a problem with it, that's already a big red flag. If they're like, oh, cool, whatever, that's fine, then it's fine. But yeah, that's a good thing to practice. At least, yeah, snap a quick picture of the license plate or the DOT number if it's a trucker or something like that. And send it to whoever you were talking to last. Or, if you have a friend that you've got an agreement with about that, then that's good. It's safe. That way, if you disappear, then at least somebody knows where you were last and who picked you up. Reprobates rule. Fuck yeah, buddy. Never hitchhiked but picked up many. That's good, Idlevice. I like that. We need folks to pick us up. A lot of thumbs up. Yeah, I'm just gonna take another moment. Oh, thanks 222. Digging your message. Fuck yeah, appreciate you, man. Drop some dollarinos through the super chat. I'm just going to remind y'all, if you donate through Super Chat, YouTube takes a big cut. You see how 222 put 14... Well, maybe that's because it converted from Canadian. But YouTube takes like 30% of anything that you donate through Super Chat. So if you can, PayPal, Venmo, and Cashapp are the most direct ways. That way I can withdraw it immediately and go get myself a sandwich or whatever the fuck I'm trying to eat. Or, a rare hotel room if I'm as haggard as I was yesterday. Aaron says, did you get a pic of my license plate? No. That was not necessary. Jessica says, been watching your vids for about 6 months. You're super fascinating. Do you have any more Slab City stickers? No. I never was selling Slab City stickers. But, welcome. Glad you like my stuff. There's some merch links, Sapphire posted there. Hell yeah. Yay, I'm trusted. It's true. You are. We've been talking online for years now. So, yeah, I didn't feel like like we had no rapport or anything. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, cheers. Fuck yeah. Alright. Does anybody else have any other questions about hitchhiking? Before I go back out and smoke and throw a different ball for Satan. Alright. Well, we don't have any more burning questions here. If you're watching the stream after I'm not live anymore, feel free to leave any questions you have in the description, and if it's a good enough question, maybe I'll just do a whole stream about it. Or maybe I'll do a follow-up stream pretty soon here. Like I said, I'm in Philly right now, and I'm gonna be just kind of moseying around the northeast pocket of the U.S., hitchhiking and riding trains. So if you got some work that you want to give me, or a space to set up my tent, hit me up. Otherwise, if you want to be an absolute darling, feel free to drop a tip in my electronic tip jar. There are links in the description there. There's also links to my merch, and the Discord server. And, of course, if you're interested in this kind of topic, instead of watching me ramble on about it in front of my phone in a basement, you can go right now and watch. Go to the description, hit the little arrow that makes it like go, expand. If you're an old timer, you're allergic to technology or whatever, and scroll down to the bottom of the description. There's 3 links down there. 2 of them are entire series about hitchhiking, so you can just see it in action, see what it looks like, get in the moment and feel it. And then there's another like single video, and then I didn't put links to my live streams, but I guess I could add them after the stream is over. It looks like somebody else kicked down. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you. Hell yeah, you guys are great. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. Hit the like, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're a huge fan, if you're a true reprobate, you should probably hit the bell notification icon as well, so that you get notified when I do go live. Because, sometimes it's kind of irregular. Like, I'm on the road, I'm out here in the wild doing shit. I don't know what my day is going to bring most of the time. So, sometimes I stream at weird times. Trackcat says, congrats on your week of sobriety, my dude. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like day 8 or 9 now. I think it's day 9. Hell yeah. Good times. I do wish that I had some weed, though. That would be nice. I do wish I had some weed. Cool. Connecticut, huh? Yeah, I've never been to Connecticut. That's one of the 4 states that I haven't been in. Alright, well, I've had a great time talking to y'all about hitchhiking, and, I'm sure this isn't the last time. Go and check out those series if you haven't already. Those are classic shit. And I guess I'll see you later. I'm gonna settle in on this comfy couch and maybe write a little bit. Yeah. All right. Hopefully I'll see you in the Discord and shit. Yeah, great talking to y'all, and yeah, take care of yourselves. Thanks to everybody who kicked down. You guys are fantastic. You make my world go round. All right. See ya.